Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for the weekend, June 23rd and 24th, 2018. For your Saturday, we have low pressure off to our west, a warm front moving through this morning, and we'll have some showers that are going to be just basically confined to the morning hours, and some places will be over by the mid-morning hours. And then we might have a substantial break after this, but the global models today continued, as they have for the last couple days, to suggest that we would have ample amounts of precipitation in the afternoon and evening. That's why you see those app forecasts saying scattered showers and thunderstorms all day, where we're not really buying that, because, not buying this one bit, I will tell you, because this is a look at the NAM high-res future simulated radar at 7 o'clock in the morning. This is the latest run. This is the evening run. Or excuse me, the overnight run for the NAM here at 0Z, and you can see some scattered showers moving through this morning, and then after that, this lifts off to the north. Here's mid-morning, 9 o'clock. Once we get to late morning, the rest of this pulls away, and by noon, here's noon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Nothing going on here, folks. Nothing. You got a couple isolated storms showing up here across the far western areas. And this is now looking at 4 p.m. on Saturday. So going a little bit forward, you got a couple isolated pop-up storms here and there. Not a real big deal. Okay, you're going all the way to 7 p.m. now. And when you get to 8, here's what we look like. And we get past dark, maybe some late evening isolated storms continuing, and that's it. So this notion that the Saturday is going to be a washout is going down the toilet very quick. All right, I'm not buying that we haven't been buying for basically all week, or at least for the last 3 days, that this is going to be, once the NAM came in range and suggested it's going to be a much drier Saturday than the global models were indicating. We're not buying the global models one bit. I don't think it's going to be as big of a deal as those app forecasts are suggesting. So looks like actually in the afternoon on Saturday, in some places you're actually going to have the sun come out. Not full-fledged, of course, just peaks of sun here and there amidst the clouds, but it won't be too bad of a Saturday after all, after we get past the mid-morning hours for most areas. Might linger a little bit longer up here in northeastern Pennsylvania, but after that, looks like we're pretty much dry, except for a few isolated storms here and there. And you can see those pop-ups here immediately out towards central Pennsylvania, and again down here in South Jersey, Delaware, places off to the south here, but that's about it. Okay. Once we get to Sunday, we're going to have a cold front come through. I just want to get, before I go over to the globals, I just want to show you that. It does show scattered thunderstorms also for Sunday, but they're just confined to the northern areas, and that's it. Earlier, they were suggestive of something maybe a little bit further south down to I-78, and the newest NAM is not suggesting that that will be the case. We'll revisit this in the shorter range, but right now it looks like just mainly the northern half of our coverage area has to watch out for a late day thunderstorm, but this is going to be widely scattered. Also, you will see the sun definitely on Sunday, more so than what we see on Saturday. So I don't really think this weekend's as bad as earlier advertised. All right, so that's the whole idea. And once we get a little bit forward here from this point, here is Sunday. And again, it's showing the scattered showers and thunderstorms threat, again, mainly across the northern area. So the globals are in agreement with that, but it does get a little bit further south all the way to the central parts of our coverage area also. So we'll keep an eye on that, but I think it's just a widely scattered type thing. Later on Sunday afternoon, of course, after a partly cloudy start for most areas. And then once we get into Monday, we have high pressure moving in from the northwest. We're going to have mostly sunny skies because the high pressure is going to be sitting right over top of the area. Let me get to that image right here. The images, or this image is showing the high pressure sitting right about here over the eastern Great Lakes in western New York. And that's going to be enough to give us mostly sunny skies here on Monday. We will be a little bit cooler on Monday, but not ridiculously cooler. So it's going to be very warm on Sunday on the opposite side of that warm front and ahead of the cold front coming through later in the afternoon. Temperatures are going to get up in the middle 80s or maybe mid to upper 80s in some spots. And then we're going to go back down to the lower 80s on Monday and about 80 or thereabout, give or take a few degrees on Tuesday. Tuesday's a partly to mostly sunny day as well. And you can see that because high pressure is moving offshore a little bit. But we're still a little bit cooler because that trough is still sitting over the northeastern United States at that point. Once we get past this point, though, and get to Wednesday, we're going to have an opportunity for winds to turn to the southwest again. There's a cold front pushing in from the west, but I don't think it quite gets here. This is Wednesday evening. Southwesterly flow out ahead of this. We'll get the temperatures back up in the middle 80s. Warm front, or the cold front, actually affects western Pennsylvania. I'm not really concerned about that because that is not our coverage area. Coverage area starts up here by State College, so it doesn't quite get there by the end of the night. And then once this comes further eastward, you see what happens to the front, it kind of falls apart. May get to our western areas on Wednesday evening or later in the evening, but then as it moves eastward, you see what it does. It just falls apart. So we will leave an isolated thunderstorm in the forecast here for Thursday. But odds are we're going to be most areas dry here on Thursday also. Just the isolated chance for a pop-up storm. This cold front's not really going to do much as far as temperatures are concerned, because as a matter of fact, it's behind this front. It's going to be very warm on Thursday. Temperatures are getting back in the upper 80s again. When we get to Friday, after the cold front passes, it's in the 90s. So it doesn't do anything for the temperatures. Here's a look at Friday. Now that I said something, nothing really going on in our coverage area. Big ridge building in over the top here, and it's going to last for a while, folks. I think this is going to be taking place. This ridge is going to move in where 90s are going to be more common going forward as we head into and through the first week of July. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is your outlook for the weekend, June 23rd and 24th, 2018. Have a great Saturday and Sunday.